The transfer market is when the biggest transfers occur all around the world. As the transfer market remains open, a new round of outright and loan player transfers is expected between clubs. This video would focus on former players, seen as traders plying their trade in rival clubs. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Now, let's begin. 10. Fernando Torres. Although Fernando Torres did not leave for Everton or Manchester United, two of Liverpool's fiercest rivals, he did damage his legacy at Liverpool by leaving for Chelsea during the Reds' worst season ever. He cost Chelsea an enormous £50 million to acquire. Torres had significant trouble scoring goals. He would have scored goals considerably more frequently, and with less effort had he stayed at Liverpool and taken advantage of Luis Suarez's presence. Chelsea and Liverpool were Champions League sworn enemies. 9. Kai Havertz. Arsenal fans are excited about the next season after the German's high-priced transfer there, while Chelsea fans are scratching their heads over the transfer. The pain of losing you hurts more than losing Hazard, some fan wrote. The transfer has undoubtedly stirred up strong feelings among fans of both clubs, who have taken to Twitter to express their opinions. Some Chelsea supporters were overjoyed that the club avoided a major financial loss by releasing the German to join a rival team. In contrast, others were unhappy to see the player go since they thought he would be more successful there. Many of the German player's supporters have spoken out about how relieved they are that he is no longer on the team, with some even going so far as to post compilations of his best and worst moments. 8. William Gallas. William Gallas was a beast in his prime. Gallas switched allegiances from Chelsea to Arsenal as part of the trade that sent Ashley Cole to the Blues. However, those who claim this conveniently forget that Gallas's departure from Chelsea was anything but amicable. In fact, the club issued a blistering statement in which they accused Gallas of threatening to score his own goals if he was not transferred. Even worse, near the end of his time with Arsenal, Gallas decided to go to Tottenham, further aggravating Arsenal's fan base. Worse yet, Arsenal desperately wanted to keep him, but could not meet his contract demands due to financial constraints. 7. Robert Lewandowski. Robert Lewandowski's transfer from Borussia Dortmund to Bayern Munich was planned around the arrival of new head coach Pep Guardiola. The transfer dealt a devastating blow to Dortmund's ego. Jurgen Klopp said after the Champions League final against Bayern, "Everything about the game was fantastic, only the result was shit." That very well summed up Borussia Dortmund's situation. Even though Klopp's team and their fans didn't come away with a trophy, they nevertheless represented themselves and their coach exceptionally well at Wembley. The flash mob that met the Dortmund team at Stansted Airport showed how much dignity even defeat did not steal from them. However, the fallout could be even more devastating. Bayern will rest once they have removed their rivals' two most precious items, despite already defeating Dortmund in every competition. Both Mario Götze and Robert Lewandowski were on their way to Munich. 6. Mason Mount to Manchester United. Manchester United signed Mason Mount for a hefty sum of around $60 million. Despite interest from Liverpool and Arsenal, Mount reportedly wanted to go to Manchester United instead. And this hurt Chelsea fans, who appear to be extremely disgusted to see their golden kid negotiate a deal with the Red Devils. They were super bitter about this, releasing their views on social media. One user said, "It hurts my heart to see another Salah KDB situation on the horizon. Mount is the next De Bruyne in the making. Chelsea are about to make the same mistake again. It breaks my heart to see this. This is so surreal, bro." Mount was also labeled a traitor by Chelsea fans who had hoped he would spend the rest of his career at the club. 5. Jorginho to Arsenal. Jorginho may have angered Chelsea supporters, but his agent demonstrates why Arsenal was smart to sign him. Many Chelsea faithful wrote him off as a bust because of his erratic play. Still, his transfer to Arsenal was the pinnacle of his career. Despite initial skepticism, Arsenal's January acquisition of the Italian midfielder from Chelsea has paid immediate dividends after Thomas Partey's injury. "The joke is on Chelsea supporters now," says his agent. Adding the Italian international has proven to be a masterstroke on Arsenal's part, strengthening their bid for a first Premier League championship since 2004, but they ended runner-up. 4. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has never acted loyal even to his country. After receiving a suspension for partying the night before a match against Liechtenstein, Ibrahimovic left the national team for a season. He left Sweden again after failing to qualify for the 2010 World Cup because he believed the rest of their international games would be meaningless. Ibrahimovic may have a problem with loyalty on the international stage, but it has nothing on his domestic disloyalty. Zlatan Ibrahimovic not only threatened legal action to get out of his contract with Juventus after they were stripped of their 2 Scudetto, but he also requested a transfer to Inter Milan, Juventus's fiercest rival in Serie A. Ibrahimovic wanted to play for both sides of the Milan rivalry, despite already doing so for the Inter Milan and Inter Milan rivalry. After a less than satisfactory stint with Barcelona, Ibrahimovic joined AC Milan, where he has since won Serie A in each of his 6 seasons there and scored goals at a prolific rate. He opted to join Real Madrid, but the transfer didn't pull through. He had always loved the rival teams. 3. Sol Campbell. Sol Campbell isn't even close to being the worst traitor. It was solely out of rivalry that Sol Campbell made the move. Spurs fans didn't dislike Campbell when he left the club since they realized a player of his caliber deserved to play for a club competing in the Champions League. However, signing for Spurs' biggest rivals on a free transfer was too much to bear, and he was promptly dubbed Judas by Spurs fans. 2. Michael Owen. After becoming an icon for the Reds in the late 90s and early 2000s, Michael Owen went against the wishes of virtually every Reds supporter by signing with arch-rivals Manchester United after leaving Liverpool. It's hard to call the move traitorous, though. Once his time at Newcastle United ended, Owen was a shadow of his former self, and he had so few suitors that Owen's agent had to make a 34-page brochure to sell the striker to other teams. The plan was successful, as Owen became an effective backup and cup striker for Manchester United. His winning goal in the Manchester Derby during the 2009-2010 English Premier League season stands out. 1. Lewandowski. Transfers between Bundesliga clubs are routine. Robert Lewandowski and Götze left Borussia Dortmund for Bayern Munich around the same time. Still, few would have wounded Dortmund supporters as much as Mario Götze. The transfer announcement came just 36 hours before Dortmund's UEFA Champions League semi-final match against Real Madrid in 2012-2013, which was awful timing for both teams. After much back and forth, the €37 million, £32.5 million transfer was finalized in July 2013. This made Götze the most expensive German footballer in history. In case you don't fancy my top 10 traitors, or if the people I labeled as traitors did not deserve the title of greatest soccer traitor, or you think it should belong to someone else, or you think I should have included some guys, but didn't, please share your thoughts on whom to add or omit from my list in the comment section provided below. Thank you for watching.